Welcome to Rom Wills, Money Matters. Rising prices nullifies rising incomes. You know what? That's a definite money matter. That's a definite money matter because, and just to be clear, some of the things I talk about, I'm gonna talk about money management businesses, but then just some money issues. And I've talked about this before, but I thought about it again. The other day, I had a cheat snack. It was a cherry pie. I love me some cherry pies. It was from a well-known company that they haven't paid me, so I'm not giving them any dap. But I remember I would pay for this pie because I used to eat them all the time. And I would pay just $1 for that pie. It was pretty good. $1, get me a pie. Shoot, sometimes they had specials. 5 pies for $5. I was like, yeah, get a whole bunch of them. But like I said, I don't really eat them. I say once every 3 months I'll get a pie. I'll have a cheat meal. I'll have a little cheat thingy, right? I got this pie the other day. It was $2.29. I'm like, what? I was like $2.29. And you know me. Well, if y'all don't know me, you're about to find out. One little thing can make me think about something else. And I was just like, what the heck? Because, there's always this big stuff about paying more people protesting, higher minimum wage and all of that. Okay, that sounds great. And people thinking, yeah, pay my living wage and all of that. And they'll give people raises and people say, yes, I got that. I'm making that $15 an hour to start out, even though I have no training in this. Which, let me just go on a tangent. People shouldn't get paid a lot of money unless they specifically have training. If you're new to a job, it's fair for them to pay you just enough until you learn it, and then you earn your way to more money. That's just how I feel. But anyway, getting back to it, because you get some, people saying, yeah, we making more money. But then they realize they're not really getting any place. Why? Because everything else is up. Everything else is up. So it's like, that's one of the biggest tricks. Like the only people really making money is the individuals who own something. They own it. Because their money's going up too. So hey, you want more money? I want more money too. Except their more money is like $1 million or $2 more. Yours is like $2. It's just like, man, it's kind of messed up. Now, the only way people would catch up is if they get the raises, but then the prices for food and all this other stuff doesn't go up. But see, it's an interesting paradox. In order to give people raises, you have to raise the prices. Now, for the main reason. Now, I'll tell you a simple way that you can give people raises, keep the prices down, give them raises, and everybody's happy. The people at the very top got to take a pay cut. And let's be real, it's not going to kill them. It's like this guy, I'd never forget. I went to visit a dear friend in Puerto Rico back in '95. And was hanging out with her father. Now you could say they were upper middle class, or at least he was. Well, yeah, they were. She was highly paid on her job. But this dude had like 3 homes. He had one property in the middle of Puerto Rico. He had an orchard on the damn property. He had about 12 different things growing on it. It wasn't even that big. Like with an acre of land, 12 different things at least. And he didn't even have to sell it. It's just stuff he could use for his own purposes. He had a boat. At the time, he had like a trailer where the boat was. But my friend said he eventually just got a house down there. I mean, he had all of this stuff. But he said something very profound. I'll never forget what he said. He said, shoot, why would you pay $250 for a water faucet? See, one of the things with the people at the top is just greed. But they could actually make money and they could still live well. And because once the prices are reasonable, they can still live well. Because at a certain point, it's greed. It really is. At a certain point, it is greed. Because you don't need that much to live on. You could still have a man. You could still be making several million, have a mansion and everything. It's like, what else can you buy? In fact, I've seen some complaints, statements by people who are making that much money, and people who dealt with those type of people say, there's only so much we can spend. But it's crazy. Like if they weren't getting what they were getting, they could actually afford it. Like Henry Ford back, he actually paid his workers a little bit extra, and people are like, why are you paying them that extra? And Henry Ford was just like, so they can afford my cars. He was keeping money in his pocket. That's a whole other conversation, but it's a crying shame. People having so much trouble. You got these rising incomes, but only a small percentage of the population benefits from it. Truly benefits. Many other people working like crazy, and then you getting people, they're making a lot, but then they get the layoffs. Because then a lot of other people can't afford the products, so the people can get paid. Like even online, I'm gonna get more into the layoffs in the next episode. But I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. If people can't, okay, you got to raise the prices to pay the people, but then the people can't afford the prices. Like, let me get back to that food thing. I remember, like, I could spend $100 at the store. Like when I buy a little bit extra, right? $100 easily. But I can fit it all in a small cart. I remember the days you spent, like the 90s. You could spend $100. You got your carts overflowing. You might have to have 2 carts. Now you can it's getting to the point. You spend $100, you might can have it just in a hand basket. And people say, well, we got to spend more money. We got to spend more money. They want more money, so we got to raise the prices. But then you can't afford it. See, it's like a vicious cycle. It's like a vicious cycle. And the only way to really solve it is, well, like I said, the people at the top, the owners got to be like, you know what? I only need so much money, But like I said, it's a lot of greed and everything. And and these are some real issues. It's a killer paradox. It's a killer paradox. Because I know a lot of people who just in the area working, and trust me, they're not getting ahead. And really, the only way to honestly get ahead is some type of business ownership. Not even stocks and all of that, but business ownership. That's really the only way. That's why I promote it so much. That's the only way. And even that's going to be tough, because if you're in a business where you have to buy supplies and all of that, that's costing extra money. And let's just be real. And it's like not even just being business, getting to the point, not just being business, you have to be an outstanding business. But you know what? That's another conversation. But I want y'all to just sit back and think about that interesting paradox. Everybody wants a right, they want more money. Okay, that's fair. But then they realize they're not really getting anywhere because they're paying more money for stuff. Only way to get someplace is if prices stay the same. I should be able to get that like cherry pie for still $1. Then our dollars are not going as far as they used to. So that's just an interesting paradox. So anyway, though, regardless of the case, like I said, business ownership is really only way you could really get ahead, truly get ahead. So, well, one of the ways, you can argue, well, if you're making a whole lot as a career, but it's still tough. Even regardless, it's still tough. But anyway, only the best way to do is to make that money. So y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.